In a recent HCI Webcast underwritten by Towers Watson, Dr. Eileen Gotchman, Global Practice Director of Organizational Effectiveness at Towers Watson, and Kathleen Karchi, Account Director at Towers Watson, explained that the Great Recession may have ended, but its impact on the workforce is likely to be deep and long-lasting. Towers Watson 2010 survey of employees across the globe shows a fundamental shift in employees' confidence in their future and their career prospects, and changing attitudes about both their work and their leaders. Having endured pay freezes, benefit cuts, and downsizing, they are recession-weary and anxious.
While the worst of the recession is over, it's clear that businesses are facing a difficult environment. Economic growth continues to slow down. Unemployment is holding steady, and there's a reluctance to hire new staff. Our demographics are changing. New job entrants are entering the job market at a much older age, and in fact, people are living a lot longer. So what does this mean? All of this is putting a tremendous amount of stress on government-sponsored plans and the private sector, and it's making it very challenging for businesses. The recession has had a huge impact on both companies and employees and has accelerated the demise of the employment deal as we know it today. Employers have become extremely conservative. They're not increasing headcount, and when they do, it's typically for part-time or contract employees. We see more offshoring than we've ever seen before to take advantage of cheaper labor. And customer demand and strong financial position are the two things that are going to determine if an employee has a job going forward. So it's not surprising at all that employees are feeling extremely anxious. They're afraid they might lose their job. Bonus and pay increases have shrunk or gone away altogether. They don't expect promotions, and the reality is they wouldn't leave even if they didn't like their job. Both of these things have created an interesting dilemma between what the employee expects and what employers are actually able to deliver. We found only 9% of those people are actively looking for jobs, with 3% that have plans to leave. So if you think about it, 12% is not a huge number. 44% have no plan on leaving. They're going to sit tight, with 37% saying, if the opportunity arises, I would consider that.
So based on what we just saw on the polling, it's possible that you may be overestimating the percentage of employees who are actively looking for jobs. Compared to what we've seen in our data, there are not a lot of jobs out there, but more importantly, employees are really reluctant to go because they're afraid that if they're last in, they might be first out. They're concerned about the risks that they might be taking. It's a little bit of the devil that you know, staying with your current organization. But this is problematic because as we look at what's happening inside the organizations, we see some big gaps between what's important to employees and what they think they can achieve.
Oh, what does it mean?
So we want to spend a little time, and we would love to get your questions and feedback as we're nearing our summary. But what we want to talk about here is the unprecedented opportunity that we feel that employers have now. Kathleen and I, as we've been talking amongst ourselves, we feel that the silver lining to the last year or two is almost a gift to employers, because it gives you an opportunity to really think, where are you now compared to where you want to be? And as we've been around talking to our clients around the country, we hear some of the employers talking about those programs they never really liked, the ones they didn't think were effective. They thought there was a time for a change. And now you have the gift of the opportunity to really think about, what programs do I want to have? What ones do I need? How do they fit together? What is my new employment deal going to be? I've broken that deal in the last year because maybe in my company I've cut back on pay, I've had furlough days, I've eliminated programs, all sorts of changes. And all the things that I had promised employees when they signed on, they've gone away, but I'm asking for the same amount of productivity, if not more. So that deal is broken. And so what is it that you're going to do to move forward on that. And so you really have this unprecedented opportunity for you to reshape the future. And what you see right now from our data is that you have many employees at your organization that are sitting there that aren't necessarily happy with what they're getting, which gives even more of an impetus to think about what is it that we want to do. Now, there are people that feel very strongly about the time period that we're in. Some people are very passionate about saying, oh, this is just a temporary blip. Employees have short memories. You know, wait a year from now and the job market's going to turn around and employees will never forget that they'll start thinking, we don't care about job security. We're going to start hopping from job to job. There are others that feel that this is a more permanent shift and that we've completely changed the mindset of employees and made them a little bit more gun-shy, and their needs have changed, and we have to reshape companies. And we recognize there's a wide range of opinions on this, which should cause your organization to think a little bit about how are we going to react to that.